Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and tonight we're going to focus on the Egyptian economy and the future of development in it, as well as the IBDA or START initiative, which will be breathing new life into the industry and the industrial sector as well as the economy in general. But we will be starting straight away with the main topics for tonight, which took place on Sunday through the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. As President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave directives over keeping on the efforts to finalize the family-related draft laws in coordination with all the concerned agencies and parties. Meeting with the Justice Minister, Councillor Omar Marwan on Sunday, the President urged a community dialogue is held to address all the concerns and consults different opinions so as to ensure the best benefits to the Egyptian family. Presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said that the President followed up on the updates on formulating several family draft laws, including a social status law for the Christian citizens. He added that the meeting also reviewed the implementation of a digital integration strategy for the judicial authorities ahead of launching the judicial work at the Justice City in the new administrative capital. And still to continue the top stories and of course the main topics that took place with the activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, but not on the local level, on the regional and the continental levels as well, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received on Sunday the French Minister for Europe and the Foreign Affairs, Stéphane Séjourné, in the attendance of Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. The French minister conveyed the greetings of the French President Emmanuel Macron to President al-Sisi. Presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said that the meeting tackled means of promoting bilateral relations. The meeting also reviewed the latest developments in the Gaza Strip and the Egyptian intensified efforts with various partners to implement a ceasefire and ensure the entry of the humanitarian aid to the Strip. Meanwhile, the meeting touched on a number of political files. Topping the agenda is the situation in Sudan, Libya and the Red Sea. For his part, the French minister asserted on his country's keenness to coordinate with Egypt to carry out a ceasefire in the Palestinian territories and exchange the hostages. And from the activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the meeting that was held between the Foreign Minister of Egypt, Sameh Shoukry, and his counterpart from France, as the Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and the visiting French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, Stéphane Séjourné, held the joint press conference following their talks in Cairo on Sunday. Shoukry welcomes Séjourné's first visit to Egypt as a foreign minister on the first leg of a regional tour that will also include Jordan, Lebanon, the Palestinian territories and Israel. We have more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Egyptian and French foreign ministers on Sunday stressed the deep cooperation relations between both countries and close coordination over issues of mutual concern. At the joint press conference following their talks in Cairo, Sameh Shoukry welcomed the first visit of Minister Stéphane Séjourné to Egypt since assuming office, saying their talks spanned overall Egyptian-French relations and regional developments. Shoukry hailed the ever-developing historical and cultural ties between Egyptian and French peoples. He added that relations evolved recently from mutual confidence into strategic relations in political, economic and military fields. He also pointed out that on multilateral framework, Egypt and France also have mutual coordination given Egypt's engagement with the EU, where France enjoys the leading and distinguished position. Regarding the situation in the Gaza Strip, the top diplomat called for a ceasefire that will pave the way for launching a political framework for handling the Palestinian issue from a collective approach. He also stressed rejection for forced displacement of Palestinians. Minister Shukri added that the talks with his French counterpart also reviewed the threats of the expansion of the Middle East conflict, including threats to navigation in the Red Sea and the military actions in the Syrian and Iraq, as well as Israeli-Lebanese border tensions. For his part, the French diplomat said that the talks discussed the repercussions of the war in Gaza on the Egyptian borders. Sejourne thanked Cairo for efforts to allow aid into Gaza. The French minister is in a tour of the Middle East region, which also includes Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, and Israel.
We will turn now to the main activities of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the past week in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The call discussed regional situations and the widening circle of tension in the area. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a phone call with King Abdullah II of Jordan, addressing the tense situation in the region, especially in the Gaza Strip. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. The call addressed the overall situation in the Middle East and the increasing danger of the ongoing conflict. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi had a phone call with Ghazali Othmani, the President of the Comoros. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received Mr. Mohammed Yunus al-Manfi, the head of the Libyan Presidential Council, at the Presidential Palace. The President affirmed during the discussions Egypt's support for all efforts aimed at protecting the unity of Libyan territories and supporting state institutions.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and as I said in the beginning, that tonight we are going to focus on the Egyptian economy and means of developing it in the upcoming few years, and more importantly, the Egyptian industry. And we will be focusing and concentrating on the Egyptian Industrial Initiative, which is called START or IBDA Initiative, and it will be affecting the industrial sector as well as the whole of the Egyptian economy. We'll be having more details regarding such an important initiative for the future of development and the Egyptian economy in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
National Initiative for Industry was launched to support and localize national industries, relying more on local components and reducing imports. This takes place by enhancing the role of the private sector in localizing many big, medium, small and micro-sized industries in Egypt, while offering a number of incentives in the form of lands and tax exemption for a period of 5 years. This is in addition to providing necessary support to legalize conditions for violators and providing necessary technical and financial support for defaulters. The initiative aims to localize the modern industry, reduce the import gap, and generate jobs. Its objectives integrate with the Egyptian state's national goals, its international commitments, and efforts to achieve sustainable economic and social growth and provide clean energy solutions. The initiative also seeks to support the state's efforts towards innovation in the industrial field, consumption and production in a responsible manner. The Initiative for Industry contribute to encouraging and implementing the largest number of industrial projects with high added value. Its mission is to empower the private sector in integration with the state's efforts to create strong economic entities capable of competing globally. Also, Mahani 23 is an initiative that promises to provide the European Union with Egyptian professionals with the skills, education, and training for a high competitive and constantly evolving market. In the heart of Egypt, a transformative initiative is taking root poised to reshape the nation's workforce and create a unique avenue for collaboration with the European Union. Launched by Egypt's Ministry of Labor, the Mahani 23 project holds the promise of equipping 1 million young individuals with the skills needed to thrive in evolving job markets both locally and internationally. The recent vocational training conference, where Mahani 2030 emphasized the importance of effective partnerships among training institutions to elevate Egypt's vocational and technical education sector, ultimately benefiting the nation's future workforce. Since 2016, Egypt has undertaken an ambitious economic reform program implementing significant financial and monetary measures to achieve rapid, sustainable growth and foster inclusive development. In a world where interconnectedness is key, Mahani 2030 serves as a bridge connecting the aspirations of Egyptian youth with the needs of the global job markets. As EU entities explore the potential of this project, they are not only investing in the future of Egypt but also securing a stake in the development of a skilled workforce that knows no borders.